So for starting off, we're going to be talking about project management. I kind of had the role of Gantt chart, kind of setting that up again this semester. Gantt chart's been really useful for us as kind of set us up with a timeline, kind of kept us on track with everything, really kind of narrowed down our time management skills with it.
Yeah, I agree with Alex. The Gantt chart was really helpful with just like organizing and keeping us accountable for everything. Just my responsibilities were a lot easier to list and keep track of, so it gave us all the confidence that we needed to know that we were going to be on track and going to be able to finish on time.
So at the start of the project, we each had our individual roles, but didn't quite know what they entailed. So as our project progressed, we knew more and more about what these roles were, and they became much more defined. As these roles were more defined, though, we found some things that took much more time than we had initially anticipated for. So with that came a little bit of a redistribution, so everyone was doing their fair share of work.
Yeah, and with the more work, it came with we realized our communication wasn't up to par. So at the very beginning, we were communicating about like once a week, just during our mentor meetings. But at the end there, it really evolved to communicating every day, making sure as our project ramped up, we also communicated more.
This project's come with a lot of, as they were saying, a lot of different aspects and different jobs for the team. Teamwork's been a big thing. Really kind of working together, trying to get things done, bouncing off ideas off each other, seeing if someone's having an issue, get together with the rest of the team, seeing how we're going to work that out.
Yeah, so back on what Alex said, everyone has different ideas and everyone's good at different things. So if Alex is struggling with something, I'm able to help him, or Luke might be able to. And we learned that as a team, collectively, we are much smarter, and that everyone can put in the same amount of effort and get everything done in a much more fluent way.
So what I learned about being a team member is when it comes to myself, I find it much easier and more efficient to work when there's a lot of people around me. So when I'm working on these SolidWorks models, these ANSYS models, if I come up with a problem, I'd rather bounce ideas off of other people around me than working by myself, alone, working on this project.
Yeah, I agree with Luke, but so a little bit about that, also I learned how to work with other people who didn't necessarily have the same like vision or ideas as I did. So, same thing, like whenever I had a problem, they had a different perspective of the same problem, but then also sometimes we would have different ideas or conflicting ideas of what we wanted to do. So we had to learn to work together and communicate effectively to ensure our success as a team and make sure that everything got done.
So if I was to go back to the start of a project and tell myself anything, it'd be to start practicing with ANSYS earlier. I know I had a lot of struggle getting used to the software, where buttons were, and how to use the software more fluently. But along with that, when I get stuck somewhere, I should have went back and told myself to ask for the resources around me to help me. So with Dr. Pardue or any of the other professors that have experience with ANSYS, those were really vital, and I learned that as the semester went on, to use resources to help me get through the problem areas that I have. And then another thing that we really should have done is backed up all of our models as we went. About midway through, we lost everything with the collapse of my computer, and with that came the restarting of all of our models and simulation work.
Yeah, I agree with what Dom said. I also would say that I would tell my past self to get started with the final report as soon as possible, because it's a beast, and it took us a long time. Right there towards the end of the semester when kind of time was extremely valuable and we didn't have a lot of it. So it's kind of like back to what Dr. Pardue said at the beginning of last semester, like one day now is worth 2 days next semester, or however you phrase that. And we realized just how true that actually was. But yeah, so that's what I would tell